Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I'm going to do some Tarotscopes for the week beginning the 21st of January. It's a pretty special week here because we've got the full moon, the eclipse, a super blood wolf moon, super duper. The impacts of the full moon, I always feel them, and this particular full moon is a super one. So that basically means that its effects are going to be felt more keenly. So when I tune into the vibe of this week generally, what I'm getting is that it is a week to examine critically what is no longer serving you. I guess, how do we define what is no longer serving us? Well, we simply go to what is supporting us, what is supporting our growth, who are supporting our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, who are valuing who we are, and who are not. And those that are not, I guess time's up. It's time to say, okay, well, how do I feel after an interaction with these people? Do I come away feeling supported and boosted? Do I get back what I'm giving out? Do these people step over boundaries? All of these questions are relevant this week. I think it's really a critical week for relationships. And why would we want to, and I guess situations as well that are no longer supporting our best, who we are, who we want to be, where we're going, what are our dreams, our hopes, our wishes. If events, situations and people aren't supporting that, it is time to consider that you need to move on from that. So I think that's the energy of this week, and I think it's also linked with the year in general. When I did my predictions and Tarotscopes around the New Year period, it really became quite abundantly clear that this year is a year for manifestation. And I did mention this in the reading I did around karma. When we are looking toward manifesting abundance, opportunities, growth for ourselves, it's really important not to be anchored in the past. And what keeps us anchored in the past? Negativity and negative emotions. So with that in mind, let's look at the Tarotscopes for this week beginning 21st of January. As we move into the sign of Aquarius, Aquarians is a gentle energy. I've always found Aquarians to be intelligent, but also, not liking conflict, wanting really harmony and wanting to go with the flow. I think that's the water nature of the sign. They can be easily disrupted, so they don't like conflict. But let's go to our first fire sign, Aries, which is, as you know, the ram and the fire sign. I've got a number of Arians in my family, a number of friends who've been Arians. Me being a Sagittarius, of course, I'm drawn to the passion and the inspiration that the fire signs can sometimes light. So let's have a look at Arians as we move into this week beginning Monday the 21st of January. What's in store for Arians? I'll just bring the laptop down. Oops, that didn't go so well. Okay, what's in store for Arians this week? Okay, ruled by Mars, courageous, feisty fire sign. Independent is a good characteristic of the Arians that I know. What's in store for Arians this week? Okay, so they'll be having a look this week at really at things that they might have let go of in the past, and whether that was a wise decision or not. So they may be reconsidering who they've got in their life, who they don't need, in line with the general vibe of this week. But they'll be doing some discrimination and discerning. They'll be thinking quite deeply around their personal relationships. So what's in store for them this week, Spirit? All right, so straight away we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Now, this is in relation to really family and inheritance, building family wealth, the support and the love that you actually get from family. So it may be that they have considered in the past some of their familial relationships may not have been running smoothly. It really shows a reunion of some sorts this week for Arians around their family. And we've got the Eight of Wands here, which is things happening quite quickly. So they might hear from a long-lost family member, for example, out of the blue, and we've got this kind of reunion happening. It's showing, the cards are showing that this is absolutely the correct thing to do. So Arians will be discerning whether or not to proceed with this, but I think really the matter will be outside of their hands, because it's almost like the universe is saying, reunite with this long lost family member. It could also be a friend too that's like a family member, because the Chariot is things coming forward very, very strongly and very, very quickly. So this again is confirmation from the universe that it is absolutely the right thing to do, to reunite, to pick up where they've left off. So this week it is all about relationships for Arians, and it's all about who they have in their life and who they don't, and also considering who they might have let go of that they perhaps shouldn't have, because there are reunions indicated this week, whether it be for family or long lost friends. Indeed, it could even be for very close work colleagues that they might have worked with, a number of years ago. Whatever the reunion is, there are reunions coming forward this week for Arians. Okay, let's move forward to Taurians. I also have those in my life. Now, Taurians are, they're an earth sign, as we know, and they're ruled by Venus. I know Taurians to be fairly practical and down to earth, but I also know them to have to be a little bit temperamental as well. And of course the bull, they will stand their ground, won't they? So what's in line for Taurians this week? I think that Taurians will be looking for fun this week. I think that they'll be actually wanting to enjoy themselves, and they'll be looking for really, things have been a little bit on the tough side for Taurians in the past 12 months. And I think they're wanting to really throw off the burdens this week and just kick back and have some fun. So they'll be going easy on themselves, but they'll also be going easy on others. So what's in line for Taurians this week, Spirit? What's in line for our friends, the Taurians? Okay, so this is the introspection that has been a characteristic of the past for Taurians. They've had quite a lot on their plate, and they've been doing a lot of reflecting over the last 18 months. But now it's time to work together. Okay, they're wanting to work with others. They're wanting to, join the teams, and they want to expand their horizons. So they're really wanting to throw off that heavy introspection. I think that's the energy that I'm picking up. And really it is around, joining with other people, but joining them, on an emotional level. So this will go right through to their work as well. So really for Taurians, it's less of the introspection and more really forming relationships, valuing relationships with others. So Taurians are going to have the vibe this week, as I said, it's casting off the burdens, and it's going to be enjoying their time, but also enjoying their relationships as well. Now, for the twins, for Gemini, air sign, as we know, ruled by Mercury, fairly intense, intelligent, versatile people, Geminis. And they can be a little bit unpredictable, which is the nature of the twin, their twin nature. So what is coming up for Geminis this week? What is coming up for Geminis this week? Okay, so what is coming up? All right, so they're back from holidays. They're confronting their workload. They are actually asking themselves, what do I want? Okay, so they're doing a little bit of soul searching this week, Geminis. They're really asking a deeper question of themselves. You know, is it going to be the same old, you know, business as usual? Or is this what I really want? Is this what I really should be doing? So they're the kind of vibes. Okay, got the Crossroads card. Okay, the Two of Swords, which is really weighing up multiple forces on themselves. And really having a choice or even a compromise. So what's the decision point for Gemini this week? Whatever it is, they're going to be making that decision quite quickly because we've got the Eight of Wands, which is things, as you know, coming down fairly quickly. These are quick changes. This could be some news that's coming forward in relation to this contemplation that Geminis are making. What's causing them to really examine situations? It's something around the truth here. So Geminis have been confronted. This is the King of Swords, and could almost represent, really, in a way, the keen intellect of our Geminis. You know, this is really leadership and strategic thought. So they could be contemplating. I'll go out on a limb here with Geminis. They might be contemplating this week matters concerning leadership. So it could be that they may pull back from a leadership position, or it could be they might take on some new leadership position. But it's all about the crossroads, and it's all about work and, is this what I really should be doing? I think that in the decision point, they will be considering their purpose in life and how fulfilled they are, and, you know, what are their deeper dreams? What's their purpose and meaning for being here? So I think that's what's in store, but there is something around leadership for Geminis this week, and a decision point, or even a compromise for them. They may as I said, either step back a little bit from responsibilities in order to pursue the larger questions, or alternatively, after much consideration, they might be taking on additional leadership duties. So let's now go to Cancer. All right. Now, Cancer the Crab. Again, I've got Cancerians in my life, and I'm very close to them. So they're ruled by the moon, and they're a water sign. They're nurturing and sensitive souls, but also they're quite protective and complex. So with Cancerians, it's all about the immediate environment, and that immediate environment has to be nurturing for them. So really, as we move into the 21st of January, they'll be feeling the effects of the super full moon tonight on it's the 21st of January here in Australia, and it will be forcing them to confront certain situations, perhaps things that have remained hidden, or that they have kept hidden, and they're really having to confront what needs to be confronted. So let's just see what is in store for Cancerians this week. Okay, so we've got the King of Wands coming forward, and this is around leadership and inspiration around leadership. But it's also coming forward and being courageous as well. So if there is a situation that Cancerians need to confront, it's going to take courage in order for them to do that. Because they really need to get some stability here into their lives. Whatever the problem or issue is that Cancerians are having to confront with courage, they're going to do it because they're going to come forward and they're going to make those decisions because they're quite resourceful. But the end goal for them is stability and security. Security is extremely important to Cancerians. The Seven of Cups is showing it's not going to be an easy decision for them to make, because this is the card of really not being able to see clearly. It's around commitment to the decision, because there's so many choices that they could make. There's so many roads or pathways they could go, but they need to find the right one, and they're going to be trying to do that this week. Okay, we'll move here to Leos. What's in store for the sunny fire sign, the lion, ruled by the sun. Of course, the sun is the opposite to the moon, so with the moon, I think generally, as I said at the beginning of this reading, all the fire signs will be having to confront things and decide. There will be a letting go or a purging kind of process as we have to face. We have to face the things we don't want to face. And I would just say here that it does take courage to do that, and I don't underestimate the courage that it takes. But really, we're wanting to free ourselves up so we can move forward. We don't want that anchor in the past dragging us back or holding us back. So in a way, we're kind of welcoming the energies of this week. We're actually a little bit, looking forward to lightening our load a little bit. It's really can be like decluttering. So, all right, let's move to, as I said, Leos. When I did Tarotscopes before I left, I think Aquarian off, so I've got them written down on a list so I don't leave anyone off. All right, let's bring the laptop down and let's have a look at what's in store for our Leo friends. I'm very fond of the Leos in my life, and I've had some wonderful Leo friends. They just make me smile. They're very capable. They're very goal-oriented. They can be quite provocative as well. Fun to be around because they're a little bit of a show-off, and I mean that in a very nice way. So what's coming up for our Leo friends this week? Yeah, look, it might be. I'm just getting for Leos that it's been, even though it's been the holiday period, it's been quite a busy time for them. And they're almost like their feet hasn't touched the ground. They really do want more relaxation. They might feel that they haven't had enough of it. But they're also got their eye on the goal and work. I think it's all about work this week for Leos. Even though, as I said, it's a holiday period, they're either thinking about their work or they've gone back to work. But I do feel they don't feel that they've had a decent enough break for whatever reason. So it could be they might even be planning a holiday for later on in the new year. So what's coming up for Leos this week, the 21st, Leos? Okay, there's some sort of celebration in order. This is really around the home. It'll be a happy home for Leos this week. And there could be some news that they might be celebrating, because this is all about homecomings. It's about celebrations. It's also about the love and the support of family and friends. So there could be a special occasion for Leos this week. There might be an engagement in the family. They might they might get a wedding invitation. Now, as I said earlier when I opened up the reading for Leos, there is some source of it's hard to put my finger on it. I'm sorry, this is the Four of Cups, and it's the card of it's really discontent, a little bit of disappointment. So there's something around Leos that I was trying to get to when I opened this reading up. It's like restless. They're restless. They're a little bit restless. They're not quite satisfied with the way things have been going. And I really do think it's around responsibility, which is why I'm drawn to this idea that they might be planning a holiday later on. They kind of feel like they haven't really had a chance to rest, or had that you know, what they deserve. You know, they probably had been juggling responsibilities. Now that it's time to go back to work, and they're a little bit disappointed about it, because they feel like a little bit put upon. This is the Seven of Swords, which is, you know, things being taken away. And I really do feel that there is some kind of discontent here. And it could be around the home, but I have to say there is some happiness coming forward for them for this week. So really, if they're a little bit restless, a little bit disappointed, whatever's coming forward, whatever celebration is coming forward is actually going to really take a lot of that discontent away. Or perhaps they plan that holiday and they get confirmation of it, and you know, there's something to celebrate, because Leos love to celebrate. All right, next on the list is the Virgoans. Okay, so Virgo is quite an interesting sign. Very, very detailed. They get right down to the detail. You know, they can tend toward being a little bit obsessive, but it's a good, caring obsessiveness. It's almost like what they are obsessing over, they really do know their subject matter. So they're very realistic and analytical, and they put the mental energy into things. So, you know, when a Virgoan comes forward with the detail, and for me being a Sagittarian, I'm not right down in the detail, although I do like to do that research, and I do like to analyse, but really, Virgoans, some of their detail, the minutiae is lost on me, and I think I really do frustrate them. But I do have to say that when they do come forward with this advice, this, you know, well, perhaps you should be doing it this way because this nut works in this bolt and whatever, we kind of really should listen, because they really do know what they're talking about. So having said that about our dear friends, the Virgoans, let's have a look at what the week has in store for them. So what's in store for Virgos this week? What's in store for Virgos this week? It'll be all about relationships for them. They'll be looking at their close relate. They'll be quite fulfilled, actually. There could actually be, I mean, the Two of Cups is coming forward around romantic love and partnership. There could be some proposals here. There could be some kind of romantic proposition for Virgos this week. And it really is a culmination, perhaps, of, you know, what's been going on for quite some time. It might have been in the subconscious, and it's actually starting to come forward into reality. There are matters of the heart here for Virgos this week, and they'll be moving forward with some sort of decision, and it's an inspirational decision for them. So for Virgos this week, it's about love. It's about either their closest romantic relationship, or a new romantic relationship, or an existing relationship. There is some kind of proposal coming forward, or agreement, or coming together. Could even be a compromise, and a compromise that renews this relationship. It's well and truly overdue, whatever is coming forward in relation to romantic relationships for Virgos. It's well and truly overdue. And it's going to take, you know, it's going to take courage to move forward with it. But it's also it's a very inspirational move. So it feels, the energy of these cards feel quite right. Whatever's coming forward, whatever it is for Virgoans, it's actually feeling quite right. Quite nurturing, quite supportive, quite healing even. All right, let's move on to Libra, the scales. All right, so an air sign ruled by Venus. The Librans I know are great to go and visit with and stay with. Their environment is extremely harmonious. They put a lot of thought into that which is around them, including the people that they want around them as well. So they can be quite discriminating, Librans, but it's all in their best interests. So, hey, all power to Librans. So let's have a look at what's coming up for them this week. Yeah, look, I think they'll be using the full moon's influence and having a look at what they do and what they don't want in their life. It's almost like time to declutter, time to spring clean, time to work out the goals. How will I go forward? Who will I go forward with? They'll be really, I guess, tapping into this full moon's energy. Relationships are on their mind, not necessarily loving this is the card of the Lovers, not necessarily romantic relationships, but it could be. It is their close loving relationships that are on their mind, Librans' minds this week. They'll be doing a lot of thinking of the past. They particularly they would like, I guess, a longing, a sort of a longing. This is the card, the Six of Cups, the card of nostalgia. It's a longing for the past and for past happiness. Interesting. So they're actually looking back as well, but they're also looking forward. This is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is around. This is really around, hard work and also. What are they going to be leaving? What sort of a legacy are they going to be leaving? So it's really quite strong introspection for Librans this week, because the reason I say that around strength is because when you are reflecting like that, you're actually looking backward to the past in a sort of a reflective way, not so much as an emotional way. But you're actually considering the good. They'll be wanting to bring the good of the past through to the present, and it is all about their future and what they want to leave behind, how they want to live their life, and what sort of legacy is theirs. It is around their most loving relationships. So quite a serious week for our Libran friends. Scorpio is up next. Again, if you're like me, you've got a lot of these star signs in your life, a great variety, and you'll know the characteristics of our Scorpion friends, our loving Scorpion friends, because they are loving. They've got a lot of love to give, and a lot of life to live as well. Because they live it with intensity. What is coming up for Scorpions this week? I'll just bring the laptop down. What's coming up for Scorpions this week? Courage. I'm getting the word courage, though. I do feel with Scorpions that they've been contemplating quite a deep decision. It could even be a move of some description, whether it be a moving house, moving job. It's something that's it's a practical decision for them. It's a very important decision. It'll have a big bearing on their lives. They don't do things in a half-hearted way. They really do put the thought into it. But I think there is a decision point for Scorpions this week. A very important, I think, in some way, a decision that they might need to make. So what's coming up for Scorpios this week? Oh, okay. So again, it's around their most loving relationships. And it's new starts. Okay, so perhaps the decision point that they're making is, and Scorpions are, as I said, quite intense people and powerful. They're powerful in their emotions. And I really do think that this decision point that they will be making it could even be a commitment, because the Ace of Wands is all about new starts. And it's a decision that they're not taking lightly, because the Two of Wands is all about the really making choices. And you can see in this particular deck there are two pathways in front of this querent, and they have to decide what they're taking, which one they're taking. It is an inspired choice, and it is around their most closest loving relationships. But even though the decision is hard. I have to say, in most of these readings, we've got decision points here, which is all about the full moon energy, really examining what we need to leave behind and what we need to bring forward. And really for our Scorpion friends, it is around this their most closest relationships. Whatever decision that they'll be making, it will lead to new starts for them, and particularly in existing relationships, are really an invigoration for them. So it's an inspired choice, but it is a good choice and one that needs to be made. Now, for Sagittarians, fire signs ruled by Jupiter, it is our year. I'm a Sagittarian, 2019. It's about time that that it was our year. Jupiter's returned, so we can expect some good things this year. However, I have to say, personally, as a Sagittarian, what I've found is the full moon influence is extremely apt for me. I am looking at what no longer serves me, and I am looking at what needs to be left behind in the past, and how I can move on in the future. And it is around around those relationships that are no longer serving me. So let's have a look. Again, the litmus test, as I said at the beginning of this reading, is who makes you feel good and who doesn't. That's really what it boils down to. Who supports you, who believes in you, and who doesn't. Who deliberately, or even not so deliberately, what's the word? I guess challenges you in some way. Who's doing that? And, really, it's just getting old and tired. So let's have a look at what is in store for Sagittarians this week. Okay. What's in store for Sagittarians this week? What's in store for Sagittarians this week? What do the cards have to say? What's in store for Sagittarians this week? Okay, Five of Swords, yeah. Okay, well, I'll speak for myself, but, this may or may not be relevant for other Sagittarians. What the cards are saying here for Sagittarians is that the Five of Swords is all around what relationships are no longer serving you, what's taking away from you, and what is not giving to you, what is not in your higher interest. And the Ten of Cups, because what you're looking for is joy and happiness. You no longer wanting to be, as I said, dragged backwards, because it is all about the goal here. The goal is happiness, and happiness within your own home environment as well. That's what the Ten of Cups is saying. And the Knight of Cups, as I said, it's all around emotion. It's all around wanting to feel good, rather than wanting to be dragged down or by things, events, situations that no longer serve you. The Knight of Cups is the proposal in some way, the emotional proposal coming forward here. I do believe that this is a proposal with oneself when it comes to Sagittarius for this week. It is all about stepping away from relationships which no longer serve you in order to attain this happiness, as I said, and to be able to move forward, because the other aspect of the Ten of Cups is building for the future as well, building on solid foundations. And how can we do that? We really do need to go with those relationships, those people in our lives that are really supporting us. And I really do think that it is where, in terms of Sagittarius, the full moon is very important for us this week. Okay, so next on our list is Capricorn. I'll put some timestamps on this as well, so that you can just fast forward to your sign and the signs of those friends and family that you want to, check out. So Capricorn, the goat. I'll just bring the the laptop down. What do we need to know about Capricorn, the goat? Okay, it's the earth signs ruled by Saturn. Capricorn. A lot of my business friends are Capricorn. That's the sign of the, the very organised, almost the entrepreneur. What's coming forward for Capricorn this week? Coming forward. Okay, I think they'll be shoring things up a little bit so that they can really take the guesswork out of this year. They're wanting to be dotting their I's and crossing their T's to give them a busy run, and this is a busy run, to give them a good run in a busy time. As I said, this is all about, they're very realistic, they're very practical, they're very organised. So whatever they'll be doing this week to really I guess, establish some stability will be to benefit them in the year ahead. So what do we need to know about Capricorns for this week? Yeah, they'll be doing the reflection, they'll be putting the work in, and it'll be stuff that they'll be doing alone, not with other people. These are decisions that they want to come to on their own. And it is around the Three of Cups, which is the support, the circles of support. They'll be coming to some, I'll just take a sip of water. They'll be doing the things that they need to do to make sure that they're supported throughout this year. I don't necessarily see it as support within the home. I see it, potentially it could be, but it could be work as well. And it's inspired. Their actions are inspiring because the Queen of Wands again is this stability that they're looking for this year. So they're really going to go forward with confidence. Hooray, fantastic. They're going forward with confidence. But they will be putting the work in so that they can make sure that conditions are optimal for them this year. They don't want to leave anything to chance. They're actually looking to create the stability that they need, but also clear the way so that they can do their work, the work that inspires them. So yet again, we see why Capricorns are so good in business, because they do think ahead. So we're going to go to Aquarians. Now, we're moving now into their territory, and also the full moon as well. So my feeling is it's going to be quite important for Aquarians this week. They are the water bearer of the zodiac, and they are inspired. They can be inspired. They can take inspired action. They like to help people. What's coming up for Aquarians this week? Yeah, I think their eyes will be on how they can help. I'll just bring this down. I think they're going to be inspired to, really make a difference. So if it's around their work or their relationships, their friendships, they'll actually be stepping in to certain situations in a helpful way. So I think for Aquarians, really this week's all about, they're thinking about others. They're thinking about their nearest, their dearest, their friends, perhaps even their work, and how they can support and help. Okay, so Aquarians this week. Okay, so we've got potentially, as I said, how they can help. So in situations where they see that there has been, there's been some kind of trouble, they're going to be wanting to step forward and help. Because they really do care. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. It's a lovely card, this one. This is around really new things coming forward. So it could be that for them, part of the way that they can help is to step up into something new, either something new at work, or it might even be that, that they might. We've got the Six of Pentacles here, which is, I was going to say that they might even be loaning money in order to help, because this is the card of generosity. It's giving and receiving. So they'll be giving, I think, but of course it's always a two-way. It's always a two-way street. Aquarians will be looking to help someone in trouble. They could even do it with a gift of some way, or help a friend out, help a family member out. They might even step into a new position or an acting position at work. And yeah, this is the card of generosity. So I think for Aquarians, as we move into the full moon, there is going to be they're going to be looking at situations where they can make a difference, and they'll be wanting to lend a hand in some way. But it could also involve something new happening for them. As I said, perhaps a new position at work, or being offered something in some way. So our last sign, Pisces. Another water sign. What's coming up for Pisces this week? What's coming up for Pisces this week? What's coming up for Pisces this week? I think, they might be considering some travel here. That's what might be on their mind. Far off locations. It's all about learning and the journey for Pisceans. So it could be that they might be planning a trip. They might be going on a trip. But they've got their mind on far off locations. It's a little bit of wanderlust for Pisceans this week. Let's see what the cards have to say. So what is coming up for our friends Pisces this week? Pisceans this week. Judgment. Okay, they'll be making some judgments. That's interesting. Judgments about what? Okay, they're going within now, and this could be around this wanderlust that I was sensing. This is the Empress is the card of abundance, but it's also, I guess, it's harvests, and how can they reap what they've sown, and how can they reap the good stuff. And it could be like, when I say that their mind is on far off locations, they're making their judgments here, and I think it is around potentially, could be relationships with people. They could be actually considering far off relationships at a distance, and really how these can serve them in the future in a I guess a better way. So they're looking at what's lacking and what in their lives at the moment, and they've got their. It's not the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. It's not that kind of situation. They're just looking at other locations, but other situations. Could even be in different cities. It could be a move. Could be a move with the job. But they're judging whether or not their current circumstances are in their best interests. And they'll be looking potentially to make changes in 2019. So I really do think the energy of the full moon coming up on the 21st of January, which is today in Australia, is really quite important energy. I really do think 2019, we're a little bit more, we're sitting up straighter. We're a little bit more awakened, I think, as we move into 2019. And that has been as a result of the conditions of 2018, which were really unsettled. And it's almost like those unsettled conditions in 2018 have given us a bit of a jog, a little bit of a wake-up call. Not so much a wake-up. Yes, wake-up call, I guess. But a bit of a incentive to have a really good look at how we want to live in 2019. And I think that the full moon energy is actually really going to crystallise and focus on that. Because I think for 2019, people are not going to be taking second best. They don't want a repeat of the conditions in 2018. They'll be looking for change, but they won't just be looking. They will be throwing out the old. They'll be think of it as a spring cleaning their wardrobe. They really will be throwing out what no longer serves them and moving forward to the things that do. So they are the Tarotscopes for the week beginning the 21st of January. I hope that you've enjoyed those. It's a little bit of a mixture of a keen interest in astrology, but by no means an expert, but also, you know, the love of the tarot, combining that with the passion, because you know, whatever you're passionate about is a good indication of what you should be doing. So I've had fun this morning. I hope you have. This is a little bit different from my usual readings, as you know, but I think I think we need to step back every now and then. Well, actually, not every now and then. We actually have to be quite disciplined about stepping back from the minutiae and trying to throw our view, our gaze onto the surrounding horizon. And you know, when my tarot deck video that I did the other day, we talked about you know, what was on the bottom of the deck in some cases, again, what is hidden. And we've got the devil here, and no, this isn't Donald Trump, but this is, well, could be. What this is in relation to is, when I say we have to step back, when you get involved and engrossed and focused on the minutiae, you lose sight of the bigger picture, and it can actually lead to a spiral of negativity in your own thinking and feeling, because you become a little bit overwhelmed by these events which suddenly seem larger than life. So really this card is asking that you do step back a little bit, and you do just throw your gaze to the wider horizon, and try to step back from that worry, which, because it's chaining you in some way, and it's not allowing that manifestation, that higher universal manifestation. So we've got to really look around us. We've really got to notice what's around us. I think that's really important. So that could be another focus of the full moon for this week, to really setting our gaze on the wider horizon, and looking at how we're going to get there, and how we're going to enjoy the journey, and what are we aiming for, how are we going to achieve our goals. And part of that is letting go of the past, including past relationships, past situations, past events, which are no longer serving us. All right, thank you very much, viewers, for your support.